Hi, my name is Daniel Gerber, and I am going to be teaching you AP Human Geography here at Simley High School this trimester, and who knows, maybe the rest of the year. So this is my sixth year of teaching at Simley High School and eighth year overall, and I'm really, really excited to be doing this, teaching this class once again. And I'm really going to be excited to meeting you in person and also on Zoom. So this year, obviously, going to be really, really different because of COVID-19. And so we want to just take some time just really quickly go over some important items to ensure your success within AP Human Geography this year at Simley High School. So the first thing is just kind of overall safety, and that is, because of COVID-19, we have to take a lot of precautions to make sure that everyone, including you and myself and everyone else in the room, are going to be really, really safe. So we have that mask mandate from Minnesota, or here in Minnesota, and so that means that people have to wear masks at all times in public indoor spaces when there are other people around. So everyone, including myself and you, have to wear a mask while in class. So you really won't see anything other than this or me wearing some sort of mask during the school day. All right, that'll be the same for every other staff member as well. The only exception are people with certain medical conditions. Desks are going to be separated 6 feet apart in all rooms, including my own. And then we'll also be, because of this new block schedule, we'll have about a few minutes at the end of every class to kind of wipe down the desks and make them safe for everybody else. And every other class will be doing this too. Upon entering and exiting class, students will be able to get some hand sanitizer, clean their hands, and just kind of disinfect, and also have that useful, or have that when they need to during the school or just during the hour. If something comes up, that way we just easily disinfect and it's just all good and not have to worry about that. There will be bathroom breaks. We're not exactly sure what that schedule is going to look like. They haven't come out with that yet, but definitely by the first week of school, we'll have that down pat. And so anything that we're covering here really, really quickly, we will go over again on that first day of class. So don't worry if you got questions, definitely can ask those at the end of the video. But if we can't answer them today, we'll definitely be able to answer them on that first day of in-class learning. So with that being said, because of this year, we also have that cohort model. So we have students who will be here, one day a week for 65 minutes in class, or not 65, more than 65, like 95, 105 minutes, whatever it is, in class. So people here in group A will be here on Mondays and Tuesdays, and they'll be in this class one of those 2 days, depending on what hour I have you. I think for those of you that have me fifth hour, you'll have me twice, because fifth hour is kind of split due to the lunch period. And so students either way will be in this class, on those Mondays and or Tuesdays. Same thing, those people in group B will be here Thursdays and or Fridays, depending on what hour you're in. So when you're not in class, you're going to be responsible for that hybrid work. And we'll talk about that more when we get into the syllabus. But just kind of understand that there is an expectation that because this is an AP class, it is advanced placement, so it's college level work, that there is a higher level of expectation for what you have to do outside of class. So we'll talk about that when we get there. And even though we do not have the Schoology pages set up at this point, I will have a video for how to go through that, and we will go through that in class as well, about the layout of the Schoology page, and then there'll also be a video on that in case people have questions or ever kind of get confused on with that. There will be time on Wednesdays, just like what we had last year, when we had those office hours with teachers on Wednesdays. Wednesday afternoon is going to be when we have those. So if there are questions about concepts, homework, general questions about just things related to human geography, we have half-hour time periods set up to kind of just people to just drop in and have conversations and kind of get questions answered to the best of our abilities. So that's kind of what Wednesday is going to be used for. Not going to be any additional assignments coming in on Wednesdays, but if you want to work on your assignments on Wednesdays, you are definitely more than free to do so. All right. So quickly going to look at the human geography syllabus. So this is something that, again, we will go into more depth when we have class in person, or the first time we meet. Everyone will get a copy of this. It'll be on Schoology, so we want to zoom in a little bit. Okay, so AP Human Geography. So human geography itself brings all the other social sciences together. So we're talking history, economics, sociology, politics, psychology, and a lot of other subcategories within that. All right. So we're looking at how unique groups of people occupy the spaces they live in, as well as how they interact with one another and the environment across that space. And honestly, I really love this class. I took it in high school. I also took it in college, and this is going to be my third or fourth time teaching it. And I really love this because it's really, really hands-on. It's current. It's up to date. It's modern in the sense that what we talk about in this class, you can see actions of that related to things going on in the world at this time. Yes, we use some historical examples, and you got to have some background knowledge that we kind of talk about in class and in the lessons, but you can see applications of the stuff that we learn in class out in the real world in day-to-day scenarios. So it's very much relevant. So the units, we're not going to really go over them here. There are essentially 10 units that we cover in our textbook. That's going to be this thing right here. Okay, the cultural landscape. All right, Introduction to Human Geography. And so every student will have a copy of the textbook. We'll also have that copies online with the sections on Schoology. We're working on doing that at this time, so everyone should have access to it. I would bring these to class every day, but bring them back and forth to and from school. But also make sure that you do have, if you are a ninth grader, have your iPads. If you're not a ninth grader, 10th, 11th, 12th. If you don't have that, bring in your Chromebooks. We will be using those fairly frequently to do some digital in-class stuff, so related to course content. So make sure that you have that with you. So yeah, everything we're doing goes kind of in this order based on the chapters, and all of that builds itself to the AP test. All right, so this is a chance to earn college credit before you get out of high school. All right, and that pays off dividends in terms of the skills, in terms of the critical thinking, the writing that we work on in here. Just is really, really beneficial, not just for college credit and not just for college, but also just life skills, critical thinking, just important things to be successful in high school and beyond. So just kind of be aware of that there are a lot of benefits in terms of, the money side, so the economics of it. If you pay whatever the cost of the test, and I think it's like less than $60 now, you sign up for this test, you pass that exam. This literally saves thousands of dollars by passing that exam, because that way it's college credit that you don't have to take later on in college, if that's the path that you choose to take. I was someone that took a lot of AP social studies classes in high school, and that saved me an entire semester. So essentially I saved 1/8 of the money, or I saved about 1/8 of the money I would have spent on college by taking these classes in high school and passing those tests. So we'll talk more about the grading scale. You can kind of briefly see that here. Assessments, we'll talk more about that in class 2, but for the most part, for each unit, we do have a unit test, and that's broken up with short answer and some writing and multiple choice. Vocab quizzes based on a lot of vocab that we learn in class that's related to human geography. You'll have those. Some of those might end up on Schoology because of the time constraints in what we do. You might find, 2 per chapter per unit. There will be other assignments kind of spread out throughout the course, related to things that we're learning about as either extensions or some sort of projects with what we're learning. And so, yeah, you can kind of see, we'll talk about what the stuff looks like. So the hybrid expectations. So because we are split between, people that are here on Mondays and Tuesdays versus people here on Thursdays and Fridays, here is how this is going to lay out. So the people that are here on the Mondays, that group A cohort, they will be two days ahead the entirety of each trimester. All right, so on cohort A, that Monday, they're going to learn something, and then they're going to have hybrid assignments on Thursday and Friday. Group B, you're doing what they did 2 days later. All right, and then your assignments come in, you get the exact same assignments 2 days after they do. All right, so that way, we're kind of all following the same process, and we're working on that stuff at the same time while you're in class, not while you're out of class. I'm trying. That got a little confusing. Everyone's working on the same stuff, just 2 days difference between them. All right. So there will be each week you'll have an assignment out of the textbook. Usually it'll be a section or 2 out of each chapter. So that's that could be anywhere from 3 to 10 pages per week that you have to read out of this textbook. And again, that's spread out across a week. The expectation is you're going to complete all hybrid work prior or in between the classes. And so occasionally you'll have those other extra assignments, either reading or writing assignments, supplementing the course content. All right. So to maximize our time in class, there's not going to be a whole lot of, stand and deliver lectures that I intend on doing. We're going to hit on really big key concepts that really do need emphasis and going over in class. But a lot of that stuff we're also just not going to do in class. A lot of it I will make a video and I will have that published on our Schoology page, as well as a link to a YouTube video with it. Be the exact same thing. And that way, that's going to leave more of that time for in-class, hands-on work, applying what we've learned into real context, real situations, discussions in classroom stuff, writing assignments that are kind of, again, skill building for that AP exam and beyond. All right, so that's kind of the big thing for this kind of flip model, is to work more on, me getting to know the students, me getting to know you, and also, again, that building of those actual skills and not just regurgitating stuff that you can get out of a book and just out of a video that you can watch over and over again. So that's the reason why we're going to limit the amount of time that I stand and talk as much as possible. All right. So as I said before, okay, you can use that Wednesday flex time, those office hours, to ask questions. But definitely, if you want to get a jump start on those assignments, by all means, feel free. You are more than welcome to do that. So, yeah, if you have questions now that we've kind of gone over things with the syllabus and kind of with COVID-related issue or items, definitely feel free after this video is over to ask them. I'm more than willing to do that. And if there's anything I can't answer, hopefully I can by the end of the week, or I'll pass that along to admin, and hopefully we can get an answer for you. So looking forward to seeing you that first week of school.